I just woke up and took my shower for the day, y'all. And I just had to get on here and talk to y'all for a little bit because I am just so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because God did not have to do his big one on me like he did, y'all. He didn't. He didn't. Naturally, I'm so impatient. And I didn't think that I was impatient, y'all, because I wait for people. I have 5 kids, right? One is my nephew, but I take care of 5 kids. Four came out of me. And so, of course, you have to be patient with kids. And I'm not one of those parents that's going to cuss my kids out. I don't even cuss anymore. Not back in the day, but I don't cuss anymore. I'm not one of those parents that's going to beat my kid. And I do my kids get whoopings, but I don't beat them. I definitely redirect my kids with words long before anything else. So I'm very patient. I'm very kind. I'm very understanding, but I'm impatient too, especially when it comes to the promises that God has for me. Like, to think about it, the Israelites were supposed to be leaving Egypt, and it was only supposed to take them a few days. It took them 40 years because they thought that they knew better than God knew. Although they saw all the miracles that God did, although they saw how much God loved them, they still thought that they were smarter than God, and they wound up taking 40 years for something that they should have had done in less than a week. I say all that to say that God is not on our time. A year to us is like 1,000 years to God. Our time is not God's time, and God's time is not our time. So when you feel like you should have been and done had something happen, you don't know what's coming in the future. God sees everything. He sees our past, our present, and our future all at once. All we see is what's in front of us and behind us. We don't even see what we're doing right now. And then when we see what's in front of us, we don't see everything that's in front of us. We just see, if I keep going this way, this might happen. But we don't see the other things that's in front of us. We don't see everything. We're not all seeing, we're not all knowing. So I am a very impatient person, and I'm going to admit that. I have to talk to Holy Spirit and ask for guidance in order to be as patient as I am. So many people always tell me how patient I am. And I'm like, y'all, this ain't nothing but God. Because Rosemary 4 years ago, no. Rosemary right now, I am a new creation in God, right? I'm a new creation because Jesus Christ saved me. But standing alone on my own, the old woman, the old spirit man, nothing compared to God. Nothing compared to what Holy Spirit does for my life every single day. And I just thank God so much because I remember I used to pray for patience. Like God, please, like, I'm going through so much right now, God. I just want, I just want you to hear me. You know, that used to be my prayer. Like, do you hear me? Nothing is changing, and I keep praying to you. Do you hear me? And I used to pray, God, please get me out of this situation. Holy Spirit had to convict me when I finally surrendered, because He ain't gonna convict you if you're not surrendered. He finally convicted me, like, Rosemary, you're the problem. Now you're not out here hurting people. Now you're not out here being malicious. But you're not submitted to me, so you're submitting to this world. You're submitting to men who don't deserve you. You're submitting to jobs who don't deserve you. You're submitting to friends who don't, like, you are submitting to people and things that don't even see you as what I see you as. You are the apple of my eye. You are created in my image. You are made perfect through Jesus Christ. And you are around people who try to tell you that you're nothing, who try to tell you that you can't be anything when I told you you could be anything that you wanted to be as long as it's in my will. Like, I had to get convicted, and Even when I first gave my life to God, I was still having things spoken into me that God was not saying to me, and I was following suit. I I can't be who you want me to be. I'll fail you every time. I can't say what you want me to say. I'll fail you every time. But what I can do is love you with the love of Christ. Because you see, Christ loved me so much that before I was even born, he died so I didn't have to go to hell. Because with the sinful nature of humanity, that's where we was all headed. Because we're gonna make decisions that are sinful. That doesn't give you an excuse to live a hellish life. No, because once you know better, you do better. But even in doing better, you are still going to fall short in your thought life sometimes. Or maybe you might make a decision that you know you shouldn't have made, but you just kind of misjudged it because you didn't ask Holy Spirit first. We are not perfect, but we are made perfect through Christ. So if we put our eyes on Christ, we will make perfect decisions. We will do perfect things. But we are not perfect. And I thank God for loving me enough to give me another chance. Because what is this? April 1st, 2025? April 1st of 2021, 4 years ago, I was still in Wichita. I was still dating my children's father. Um, I was pregnant with my last child. He was a habitual cheater. If he wasn't in my house, he was at his other baby mama's house, or he was riding around the street with prostitutes that he claimed he was making money with, but he was sleeping with all of them. He he would. It was not even just the physical abuse. It was the mental abuse. Like he would literally go all day without talking to me on purpose, knowing I'm pregnant, knowing I got 3 kids at home. 2 of those 3 kids is his. But he was claiming my first child because he had been in her life since she was 6 months. So all 3 of these is yours, right? He would be gone all day and tell me, do not call my phone. If you call my phone when I come home, I'm going to beat you. If something real serious happened with the kids, I would text him. He'll text back sometimes. Sometimes he wouldn't. Then when he got home, I'd still get beat. He's like, didn't I tell you not to contact me while I'm gone? Bro, you've been gone since like 7 o'clock this morning. It's 8 o'clock at night. Like, where are you at? The mental torment, right? And then you could try to kick him out, but he got a key to the house. You could try to take his key. He'll sneak in through the window. So I was being mentally tormented by him. I was being physically abused by him. He broke my jaw in 2019. He broke my ribs in 2021. Um, he punched me all the time, pregnant or not. He knocked me down all the time. He kicked me. He called me out of my name. He wasn't much of a choker. He choked me sometimes, but that wasn't usually when he was abusing me. Um, for the most part, he would use his guns to keep me in check. If I don't do or say something that he wants me to do or say, or if I check him because I'm very good with my words, he'll just pull his gun out on me, or he'll hand his gun to my, at the time, 1-year-old son, who is now 4, about to be 5, but he would hand his gun to him and be like, point this at this B, load it. He was very dangerous. Um, but before I even got with him, I was with a dangerous, abusive man, but my ex-husband was not as dangerous or as abusive as him. But by the end of the relationship, they both tried to kill me. So I dealt with so much that I did not know who I was. And I thank God so much. Because September 2021, I broke free from those shackles and I drove my kids to a new state. And it's now been almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in September. And I have the love of God in my heart so deep that I share it with everybody on social media and in person. And I'm a disciple for Christ. And that I wouldn't change for the world.